Welcome to Beyond the Awards, a podcast from the British Wedding Film Festival. This is where we have honest conversations with filmmakers shaping wedding cinema, nominees, winners, and industry voices. I'm Joss.
And I'm Jeff, and as co-founders with Laura and Pete of the British Wedding Film Festival, we're excited to bring these conversations to you. For this episode of Beyond the Awards, we're joined by Philip London, a filmmaker whose drone work has become instantly recognisable for its cinematic scale, precision, and emotion.
At this year's festival, Philip took home the award for Best Use of Drone Footage, recognised for creating aerial visuals that do far more than just look impressive. They elevate storytelling and create unforgettable moments on screen.
From capturing breathtaking landscapes to finding emotion in movement and perspective, Philip has built a reputation for pushing drone filmmaking beyond technical skill into something truly unique.
Today, we're talking about the shots he's most proud of and how he turns drone footage from something that is simply cool into something that people actually feel. Philip, welcome.
Thank you for coming onto the podcast. It's really, really good to see you. I did talk to you briefly on the night, but I think I was a few wines in, so forgive me if I've forgotten what we actually spoke about.
I think quite a few people were like that, weren't they?
Sign of a good party.
Yeah,
How have you
it
been,
was
mate?
a good event. Yeah, good. Yeah, it was a good event. I wanted to always say thanks to you guys, almost kind of a respect thing for actually organising it and making it happen. It's funny. I think you mentioned this at the awards, but it's one of those things I've always chatted about and never done. Because you know, when you enter awards and stuff, you think, I could do it. Not that I could do it better, but you know, when you think they should do it like this, they should do it like that, but you never actually do it yourself, do you? Well, you guys have now.
Well, I think the secret ingredient is sitting in the middle of us right now. It wasn't until, me and the Lawsons, we've been chatting about it for God knows how long, but we just, none of us did anything about it. But then this little pocket rocket came along. It's like, right, and just started work. And we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well done.
Not so
good.
fast. It's been a huge team effort. Jeff doesn't like me saying this, but it has been. Everyone's just brought something different. It's true. Everyone's brought something different to the table. But thanks, for how was the night for you? Like coming into the gallery, experiencing the ceremony, socializing, all of that. How did you find it?
It was good. It was a nice venue, wasn't it? The artwork there and stuff. And I think if they're filmmakers and that, you probably do appreciate the artwork a little bit more, don't you? The venue was a good choice.
Oh, do you know, having shot at the gallery before a real wedding, Philip, I can tell you the lighting, however, is not your friend when you get there. Your white balance is all over the place in that venue.
Oh, really? Yeah. The photos were nice, weren't they? I thought he did a good job, and the video you've got.
Yeah.
There. So yeah, it looked good. It was a long drive for me. I guess.
Did you come from?
Essex, so just near London, basically.
I know what that feels like when I do a wedding in Essex. It's just one of those. It's like, do I drive home tonight and get home at 5 a.m.?
Well, we had the I had the wedding industry awards as well as in Liverpool, wasn't it, this year?
Yeah.
So it was like
handy for me.
Yeah, and this as well. And I'd just come back from holiday like the day before for the wedding industry awards, and it was like you need to have a little bit of a rest. And I thought I didn't go to the wedding industry awards. And,
you were missed.
I went to yours.
You were missed. Well, yeah.
Oh, well, you came 2 hours instead.
It was either yours or wedding industry awards. And
yeah, you made the right choice then.
No offense to Damien.
Also, Philip, I was very lucky to be on stage to present you with your trophy.
No, thank you.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
It was good. It was the second one, wasn't it? So you didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah, straight in. Yeah.
Dare I mention that? I can cut it out if it's a bit embarrassing. But dare I mention that? Did one of us get in touch with you to say you did shoot this yourself, didn't you? Because it looks like you bought it off the internet.
No, that's one of the reasons. When you sent me that, I thought, because it wasn't in that, I hadn't entered it in the drone category, had I? And when you said that, I thought, like maybe there's a chance. Like if you want to move it into the drone stuff, I thought maybe it is worth me coming.
I don't think it's controversial to say that. Like basically, and we'll talk about your drone work throughout the podcast, but on this occasion, the drone footage was so good that the judges were like, right, first and foremost, this guy needs to be considered into that category. for drone footage. But second, can we double check with him that they're his shots because they are that good?
No, so I mean the ones the Tuscany film were mine, but like you say, quite often in London, and the one from Tenerife were purchased. So yeah, I'm happy to buy shots from other people. Like you say, no, I guess with those in Tenerife, it was a national park, so there's a ban on drones, right? So you say to the couple, you know, you can't, and they're quite hot on it as well. There's like a park kind of rangers who go around nicking people and fining. They even come and try to get us with the couple because you need a permit to do be doing wedding photos there. If you're in a wedding dress, they come around and ask for a permit.
I hate shit like that.
So it was like, it can't really fly the drone here. And the same with central London as well. I don't know about you guys, but if quite a few central London films, I think there'd be stock footage from helicopters and stuff. And
yeah,
it's a lot easier to buy some stock footage than it is to get all the permits yourself.
I once shot a city centre wedding in Manchester, and I thought, Manchester's not London. I'm just going to get my drone up. It was a New Year's Eve wedding. Got the drone up, and then of course the police come find me. But this is not where the story ends. I was like, no, I'm fully qualified. I showed them the license. I showed them the registration. And because obviously I took my eyes off the ball, the drone was still up in the air at that point. I freaking crashed it.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I'm doing, guys. I promise. You just put me off.
Yeah.
That should have been in your 2 truths and a lie, Josh.
Yeah, they'll teach me.
In your risk assessment. Don't say that. It seems quite run of the mill, doesn't it? That people just come, if you're flying a drone, people come and chat to you, and it's like, you should really be concentrating, you know?
Yeah.
But you kind of
there's going to be
like
some amazing. There's going to be some amazing stories on drone footage. We've already had some on other podcasts, drone ending in rivers and whatever. We will want all your best stories, Phil.
Speaking of
before we do,
yeah,
well,
we're on the same page, Josh.
I like
What did we nearly forget again?
Philip, we like to ask our guests for 2 truth and 1 lie. Did you prepare yours?
Yeah, I've got 3 ready, yeah.
All right, fire away.
So the first one is I have a degree in quantum mechanics and relativity.
Wow.
If that's true, I want to have a conversation with you about this, because I keep seeing reels which are just like, whoa, I don't get it. Sorry.
Hang on, it's that good. It's that good that I can't even pronounce it. Can you repeat that? You've got.
See, now that'll give it away if I'm lying or not, won't it?
Hey.
Quantum mechanics, relativities, yeah. And the second one was I ran a 16-minute 5K last week.
16 minute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the third one was that I filmed the last FIFA World Cup video with Will Smith.
Oh, what? That's okay. That's cool. I hope that's true, because that's really cool. With Will Smith.
Well,
FIFA World Cup video.
Well, it's in the US, isn't it? So perhaps he's involved.
Of
Will
course,
Smith.
right.
Intriguing.
You know, I always say this, but
you can't work out which one's
what the fuck? I'm completely confused by all 3 of those.
We'd be upset if all 3 of them are lies. Coolest thing I've done is put the bins out. Yeah.
I hope 2 of them are true. Wow. Obviously,
no,
2 of them will be true, but the ones I'm thinking about.
True.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go too far into it right now, but the 16 minutes has got to be a lie. That's like world class levels, isn't it? 16
minutes. World record pace.
But it might be true. I mean, you're a slender guy. It could be, because I think my 5K takes about half an hour. So if we were running together, you'd run past me at the same speed that I'm running past a lamppost.
This image is going to stay with me. This is funny. Philip, we'll get the answers at the end, so don't give it away.
Okay.
And we'll do a little detective game at the end.
VidFlow helps wedding and event filmmakers deliver their films in a premium Netflix-style experience that feels as cinematic as the work itself. Instead of juggling different platforms, download links, and USB sticks, VidFlow brings everything together into one beautifully branded platform.
And the best part, your couples can watch their films directly on their TV using the dedicated TV app from VidFlow. No HDMI cable, No USB sticks. Just open the app and press play.
If you want your delivery experience to feel just as premium as the films you create, visit VidFlow.
Can we start with your journey into wedding filmmaking? How did you get into it? How long have you been doing it? All of that good stuff.
Actually, the drones actually got me into it. Initially, years ago, I used to fly model aeroplanes. I can still fly a model aeroplane. And had a BMFA, there's a British Model Flying Association B license, which is like an aerobatics license. And you needed that. I used to be into model jets, and you need that to fly the model jets. And that equated over when they first brought out, the CAA first brought out. Do you remember it was a permit for commercial operations? The CAA license was the first kind of drone license. And that was equivalent. So I could just send my BMFA license to the CAA, and it gave me a permit for commercial operations. So I had that, and funnily enough, I was camping, and I've got twin boys, and there was a female wedding photographer camping next to us. I just got friendly chatting to her, and she was saying, "Oh, if you get up tomorrow morning, there's going to be a really nice magic hour in the morning. Like, it looked really good on the drone." So I got up, and it was the first time, I think it's probably the first time in my life I've been up for sunrise. And it was just amazing. When you're like your first sunrise magic hour with the drone, got these shots of the boys. And then I had just such nice footage. I thought, I'll edit it together into a little film. And that was the start of the filmmaking. And then the weddings kind of followed on from that.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's cool.
And I bet it wasn't your last. You said it was your first time you got up at sunrise. I bet it wasn't your last.
No, so like you say about the drone footage in the awards, that was in Tuscany, and I think I was out there for 5 days, and I think I got up for every sunrise. Just and this kind of blows my credibility, doesn't it? But they're probably the best shots out of 5 mornings worth of sunrises. I guess they're different there's different locations there as well. So I went to different places, but
yeah, I guess that's what it takes.
So worth it
to be an award-winning drone shooter, though, isn't it? That's why I'll never be an award-winning
it's a question of application, isn't it? Of how much you want. I think with that, you can't control the lighting outside. So, and I was thinking this actually a couple of days ago when I was thinking about this, that I prefer the sunrises to the sunsets because there's less people about and it's calmer. I think maybe the wind hasn't picked up yet. So all the lakes and water will be deadpan like a mirror, won't it, compared to the evening?
And that ground mist.
You might have mist in the air, yeah. Like some of the shots in that Tuscany film, there's a bit of mist, and it's like I think it's a nicer time than the sunset. But again, you're looking at getting up at silly o'clock, aren't you? So for me, I guess when you're away on a destination wedding on your own, you just go to bed earlier, don't you? You've got much else to do. So,
Philip, do you get up at like stupid o'clock for all your weddings, or is it really specific ones when we you're thinking this is going to be totally worth it?
I can't really answer that truthfully, can I?
Depends how much only the good weddings.
Depends how much they're paying, doesn't it? I guess it depends a bit if, like you say, if it's a destination and you haven't got anything else to do. Like even that day, probably on the day of the wedding, you wouldn't want to be up that early, would you? It was more they're kind of the day before, or the day after. So I guess that comes back to the money a bit again, doesn't it? If they're paying for you to be out there for a few days, you've got that extra opportunity to do stuff like that and put that effort in. Yeah.
So you mentioned, you've answered one of these questions already, but you mentioned that very first time when you were camping next door to a female photographer, and you got up and you did. So how did that footage compare to your best footage now?
Not very good. It's one of those things. It's probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And it's the editing, I guess. I didn't know how to edit films. But funnily enough, that film, got me work with Natural England. I don't know if you have heard of Natural England Coastal Path. They've opened a coastal path, and then they wanted drone promotional videos of the coastal path sections. So, and it's just finished that as it's come to an end. But they liked
that. Is so cool.
They liked the films, and it's given me an opportunity. I've travelled around the country quite a bit filming. There's some really nice places with decent drones and stuff. So,
that is really cool.
Can you pinpoint a certain moment when you realised, yeah, I could make a living from shooting video in general?
It's probably just been more of a gradual transition, I guess. That slowly you get busier and busier, do you think, rather than a moment. But yeah, looking back now, and also I guess one of your points as well, I think, was the inspiration you've taken. And I don't know whether you've seen some of Philip Bloom's old videos. There was a film, a drone video he did. I was going to say Kofifi. I don't think it is Kofifi, but it was in Thailand, and it won the drone category in this New York Film Festival. At the time, same thing again. I mean, at the time, it's just like looking at it, it's just like, wow, it's all shot at sunrise or sunset, and it looks amazing. But I think even now, it maybe looks a little bit dated. I mean, maybe it's the styles in editing. Do you think stuff's got faster paced, doesn't it, nowadays?
Just a quick question,
Go for it.
because you're a young guy. Do you know who Philip Bloom is?
Yes, I do.
He kind of went off the map, didn't he? For about I don't know, for about 6 years now. I mean, I know he's still doing his thing, but he used to be fucking everywhere. He used to be like, everyone mentioned him. It's like, oh yeah, Philip Bloom, you'll follow Philip Bloom. Yeah. So I just thought I'd ask Josh.
No, even now he does some nice drone stuff, doesn't he? I think a lot of the kind of even in that film, which that's probably like 8 years ago, a lot of the drone movements, they kind of reveal things as it flies backwards through them. So it's not just using the drone for aerial shots, but it's using it for kind of interesting like reveals and stuff like that. So
that is interesting.
It's sort of thinking about the camera use a little bit more.
Well, I was going to say camera use. Your style is very slow. It's a slow builder. It's it's static shots, and you use a lot of like slow motion in your shots, don't you?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about like the films you submitted into the festival.
Yeah.
One on the elopement on Tide, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very slow pace.
Yeah.
Beautiful work, kind of shot style, very deliberate, very intentional. What was the inspiration behind that?
I guess it's hard. It's hard as you get older, isn't it, to not become an old bloke making old films. I'm always aware of that. But at the same time, so the drone shots in Tuscany there, I thought they're such nice shots. In a way, you want to hold them on the screen a little bit longer, maybe. And they kind of got that. They're good enough to hold on the screen that long. So I think sometimes it can be warranted.
Definitely.
Yeah,
totally. I mean, on that subject, whenever I watch my own work, every single time I wish I'd have kept the drone shot longer. On the edit, it'll cut to something. I'll be like, oh, I was just enjoying that drone shot. Why didn't I let it linger?
Yeah.
And
also, I kind of think, maybe, and I guess this is where it's hard. You see the world through your own eyes, don't you? I kind of feel like the super fast pace sometimes is a bit of a fashion. And it will, in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, you're watching it thinking, why was this cut so quick? It's not a music video,
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever shoot couples, or is it mainly scenery stuff?
With the drone? Yeah. No, I've had a few. I had a proposal. It was a guy who was proposing to his wife in a maze at Hever Castle, I think. And he was saying he wants to propose to her in the middle of the maze, and he wants a drone overhead. And I said to him, it will be buzzing over your head. I said, just enjoy the moment. Don't bother. And he was kind of a bit like, oh, okay. I said, I can do it if you want to, but she's going to know something's going on, isn't she, when there's a drone buzzing overhead? And even the same with ceremonies. I don't know what you guys think about ceremonies, but it's like, do you really want to take away? I think the noise can probably take away from them if you're trying to be in the moment, can't it?
I got a nice drone shot, actually, talking about ceremony. So I've had some awful experiences trying to fly my drone during ceremony, to the point where I completely missed the bride walking down, even just with my camera, because I was trying to do too much. But my very last wedding that I've just come back from, it was a beautiful venue in France, a chateau, and I felt like my camera with the bride walking down is not quite capturing the scale of that moment. So I actually did launch the drone. I just left her, and I was like, we'll see what happens. She was up there for about 20 minutes before she walked in. I was like, I hope it's got enough battery. Anyway, it really works. And it's one of the first times where I successfully managed to just multitask with camera and drone flying, that kind of thing. But it
definitely
worked.
need an
It
assistant,
worked.
mate, don't you?
We want to see the film. We want to see that.
Yeah, and I guess when it comes to flying a drone, if you can't hear the drone, then yeah, I think it's acceptable. So either if there's like sort of a lot of loud music during the processional, then maybe you can get away with it. Or if the drone's high enough up that you just can't see it or hear it, then yeah, you can get away with it. But then,
do you know what I loved about your work, your drone work, Philip, is that I find that sometimes drone work can become a bit gimmicky, and it is almost couple expect drone shots, so I'll just sprinkle some drone shots over it. But yours was such an engaging, you talk about the shots lingering and that kind of thing, and we felt that. It was like I wanted more of them almost,
Yeah. And also with that edit, I mean, I've sent that edit to when I first made that, because I was quite aware as well. I think I've judged competitions myself, and when you've got like 70 films or whatever you've got to look through and you're a judge, I think even more so you form an opinion within the first 10 seconds. Do you think it's like if a film starts quick and it's got lots of really nice shots straight off the bat, it has quite a big impact, doesn't it? And I knew it was a really slow start to the film, and I don't think it did that well I don't think it did that well in the Wedding Industry Awards. And I sort of thought it's not really a film for competitions, but it's like long term, I kind of think, like I say, I think that will stand the test of time, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking about this the other day, and I mean, I was on the judging panel for the Wedding Industry Awards, and I remember watching your film and thinking, this is amazing drone footage. This is an amazing pace. It's a shame that it does, that it's not quite a wedding video, in the same way that, that a typical kind of wedding video is. And I thought, and it made me think, yeah, we're onto something with these awards, because we've got an award for that.
Yeah.
It needs to be recognized and represented. And finally, we've done it. We've got, we've got all these categories which recognize all these different aspects that take a lot of skill and a lot of dedication to about. So yeah, I was proud to to finally award you with something.
No, thank
because
you.
it's
I ended up doing 2 edits actually. I've got another edit of that film that hasn't got the drone footage on the front. So like you say, it just starts at the venue and starts with the ceremony and the preps and stuff, just because it does become a fast pace then. And I thought, like I say, maybe some people will start watching the drone version and think, oh, this is what's next, scroll up or whatever, or because it is so slow.
Yeah.
I think actually looking at Philip Bloom as well, some of he holds shots on some decent shots for like 10, 12 seconds, And maybe it is an old man thing. Maybe in 20 years' time, it'll be like, I'll be really old. But maybe sometimes you just have to go with what you think's best, and forget fashions.
Did anything, I mean, think back across your career, did anything kind of like hilariously go wrong while filming?
But yeah, I wanted to know that. I love these stories. Think, drone crashes, that kind of thing, Philip. We want the bad and the ugly.
I haven't actually crashed a drone.
You've never crashed a drone?
No.
You've not crashed a drone? That's incredible. Wow.
That's got to be a record. I don't think I've ever met anyone that's never crashed a drone before.
That makes me sound really boring, doesn't it?
What's the craziest place you've ever flown a drone?
The craziest place? I was thinking this the other day, actually. There was the last stretch I did for Natural England was on the Isle of Wight, and it was at the Needles.
Nice.
So, and we'd got permits from the park there is National Trust. And then there was the Isle of Wight Film Council as well, had a permit. So all the permits were in place, and I was only there for a couple of days as well because of the ferries. So it almost had to be this day. And it was blowing like 30 mile an hour winds. And then when you get up, have you been to the Needles?
Yeah. I used to in a past life. I was a big sailor, so yeah, I know about the winds around there.
You get up to the top, like you're up on the top of the cliffs anyway, and it was really, really blowing. And I'm thinking, glad I'm not in that drone. But it was fine, absolutely fine. But the footage it's got a tiny bit of shaking to it, but it's surprising actually.
You can't fly a DJI Mini then, can you?
No, the Mini would have got blown away. So I think as well with the bigger and bigger drones, it allows you to fly in stronger winds. But maybe on a wedding day, you wouldn't really want footage in a very strong winds, I guess. But
no, I've had some situations where in the Greek islands in the middle of summer, and it gets the winds in the Greek islands on the Aegean side in the middle of summer are just ridiculous. And I had this bride who was like adamant that I fly a drone during her processional. Was on a little boat where she sails in and then she swaps onto another boat. She was like, you need to drone that, but it's like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And I was just like, okay, I'll try. I said, I'll try. And the drone just went off into the distance. So I've got to treat, I buy the cheapest possible drones because I've got to treat them like they're disposable. I'm that bad at losing them.
Can't believe you've never crashed one. I mean, I've lost count of how many drones I've crashed. I crashed my very, very, very first one ever when I first got one 4 years ago. I crashed it. I'm not even kidding. Within 10 minutes of owning it.
Yeah, most people do.
I don't just mean crashing. I mean crashing in water. So I lost it within 10 minutes of owning it. I was with my brother. He was like, "Go on, get a bit near the water. You'll get some cool shots." And instead of going up, I went down, kind of thing. So I had to buy, a second, and that second one I took to a wedding. Obviously, crashed it again. But my worst story is last year in Lake Como, doing couple portraits with this couple on boats. So they'd hired their own river boat, and the photographer and I were on different boat, so that we could kind of, I wanted to marry drone footage with
boats and drones.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Camera work.
You know what's coming.
Bad idea, isn't it? You know what's coming. So obviously I fly, all fine to take off. Absolutely fine. Get some amazing shots, that kind of thing. But then I can't land the thing because obviously even though the boat is not like the engine is not on, the boat drifts, doesn't it, ever so slightly. So there's a technique where you have to catch the drone and turn it upside down, which I'd never practiced. So when I reached for my drone, obviously with the whole sensor thing, it was kind of going back up again because of the obstacle avoidance thing. Anyway, I was like, right, you're coming with me now. So I grabbed it, and then it cut my hand, and I let go, and it boom straight into the water. And I was like, I look like a right amateur right now. Couples looking at me, have you lost our footage? That kind of thing. I'm like, ugh. So I didn't, because the remote recalls like a very low res file, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've
so
taken advantage of that before.
Yeah, with AI, I was able to like upscale it back up, but there are some shots that are unusable because AI doesn't do faces well, does it? So there are some shots of like, sort of like top looking down of the couple on the boat, and they look like Voldemort. They have no nose, that kind of thing.
We've all been there with AI thinking, this will be all right, and then everything's nice and sharp and looks good, but then their faces are just like, what is going on?
Awful. Yeah.
I bet Philip's thinking now, you bunch of amateurs.
No, I think
right.
I think a lot of that maybe comes from flying the model airplanes. That to me, it feels like the drones fly themselves. Whereas the model airplanes have no gyros on them or anything. It's a fully manual, no GPS.
When you were talking about your airplanes, you said jet?
They did model jets. Yeah, so they have like an actual compression like gas turbine.
Wow.
So there's ones on YouTube, they do like 300 mile an hour, some of them. They're just like properly like missiles.
Jesus. Yeah, you got to know what you're
so
doing
a drone is really slow to you, really, isn't it? A drone's like, ugh. This is
yeah,
like
I guess,
turtle,
they are
really.
slow and fly themselves, but you can still get it wrong, can't you? Like, I guess that 3D space.
Confirm.
Yeah, like trees and stuff like that. There's been times when I haven't had the collision sensors on and you're thinking, actually, I've got quite close to a tree there.
Yeah, well, they don't really pick, like small branches don't really register.
Yeah.
And speaking from experience.
Jeff, do you have any funny drone crashes to tell us? Too many?
I had, I'll tell you one that's remarkable. I was on a boat. I was on my dad's boat. We were under sail. I got some beautiful footage, the sails looking gorgeous in the wind and blah blah blah. And then when I had practiced catching it, and I actually bought like a little handle that sticks out of the bottom to make it easier, but still, it's just so hard. The drone was like just coming close and then far away. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab it, and I went to grab it, and it went pinged out of my hand, flopped down, and landed in the dinghy that we were towing behind the boat.
Lucky.
Landed in the dinghy. So
oh my God. What are the odds?
Was it okay?
What are the odds?
So lived another day.
I used up all my luck in that one moment, so I decided not to fly the drone again for another 6 months.
That is funny. Philip, what advice would you give to someone looking to like level up their drone footage?
I think with the it can seem like a pain in the rear, can't it? A lot of the licensing and stuff like that from the CAA, but I do think that if you know the rules and spend the time putting the hours in, you're less likely to crash them or cause any damage or anything like that. There probably is quite a bit. I know the CAA, it seems like a bit of a pain, doesn't it, sometimes? And they're always changing the rules and this and that and different licenses. Some of it maybe isn't great, but I think there is quite a bit to be said for learning like the rules and stuff like that, in that they've been put in place. They can seem like I guess it's like health and safety in general, isn't it? Your initial reaction is like, oh, what a pain. But in the long run, it probably isn't a bad idea.
I think you've already touched on this, but in terms of creativity, you've already said, inspiration from Philip Bloom, using movement for a reason, with a reveal, almost using kind of like Spielberg-esque kind of screen direction and camera movement. Is there anything else? Can you give us an example of some of these more creative camera movements?
Well, so I guess it comes back, I think you might have touched on this earlier, that I guess it's just like any other camera, isn't it? That it's just a flying camera. So I think sometimes I always think if you're just going in the room with a handheld camera and just standing in front of everyone and pressing the record button, anybody could do that. And maybe with a drone shot, people will get a shot of the venue or something like that. And anyone can fly a drone up at midday and point the camera at the venue and press record. And maybe like a sail, almost, it doesn't really set you apart from anyone else. So maybe like I said, the getting up for sunrises, flying through things, revealing things coming backwards, and almost using it as you can use it as a dolly sometimes, can't you? Sort of coming through trees, if there's a gap in trees and stuff like that, just coming through the trees and revealing the venue. So maybe just thinking a little bit more than just putting the subject in front of the camera and pressing record. You're thinking a little bit more creatively and doing something a bit more interesting.
You've got that actually in the Tuscany film you talk about, because there are moments where you fly through like trees, bushes, that kind of thing. You do that quite a lot.
There was quite a bit. I went to quite a few vineyards, and I've got lots of shots going through the vines and stuff. But it's just, it got to the point where I don't know if there's about 6 shots there already. Is there 7 shots? And it's like a load of good stuff.
Do you take many? Is there any repetition? Do you like? A bit like when you think because we talk about camera versus drone footage. Like there are times on camera where you take the same thing multiple times because you just want to make sure you've got the right moment, it's in focus, that kind of thing, whatever. Or you want more coverage. Do you do that for drone? Do you take the same thing twice, 3 times?
Yeah, loads of times. Yeah, through the vines as well. Because quite often, like you say, it will drift a little bit, and when you look back at it in post, it won't be quite perfect. Because if you take 4 or 5 of the same thing, your chances of one being perfect go up.
Do you shoot live?
It has inspired me. Sorry, Jeff, because I there are a few weddings this year where I'm like, I'm not going to get up at sunrise for all weddings, I'll be honest. However, there are a couple this year I'm like, the venue is so mega, I need to try that. Sunrise.
Yeah.
Get that light, that kind of thing, I feel inspired by that.
Yeah, and a lot of it as well is, I think, looking where the sun's going to rise. So shooting in certain directions to get the nicer light. And And if that I guess with some venues it doesn't line up, does it? How you want it, and I guess that's the other thing with doing it a few times. You get what you're given outdoors a bit, don't you? So almost the first morning you might see things and think, oh, if I'd done that in that direction, it would look better. And the next day you go back and do that and improve
that's interesting. Learning from that's interesting. Yeah,
because quite often if it's got a grand front to a building and the sun, sun might rise behind it or in front of it or to the side, and there might be other angles that look better.
Is there a dream location you've yet to film at?
I don't think so, really, just because probably the more grand the locations get, the harder, the more permits and that you need. A lot of drones are banned in a lot of cool places now, aren't they? Because everyone's doing it. And maybe I think that with stuff in general, that I think a lot of nice places are the places where there's not many people go to or know about.
Do you think drone shots are overused by today's wedding filmmakers?
Probably naff drone shots, do you think?
Yeah.
Everyone will have a shot of the venue, won't they? And then it will cut to a close-up of the
slow motion of them walking through a field.
Well, then it will cut to a sign, the name, like the venue's name.
Yeah.
Better be careful, because we'll probably end up all doing that at some point, don't we?
Yeah, I've done it.
Like if it's midday sun and they've paid for drone, I
suppose what you do well, though, is because you talk about the sunrise, drone footage, you still marry that up really nicely with other footage, which obviously wasn't taken at sunrise. So it's one thing to take amazing footage, but to actually blend it into the story, that's what you do well. It's not just about capturing those shots, because anyone can, kind of, right? I mean, if you get up at sunrise and you've got a drone or whatever, like to a certain extent, anyone can, but you manage to blend those, the mix of footage well into something that does feel cohesive and the story that kind of works. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I guess maybe that's the editing.
It's not just about the drone footage.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned about, a drone can be a very good dolly. So one of the things I've noticed, a lot of people, as soon as they fly a drone, is they go up high and shoot downwards or whatever. But do you ever use it kind of like at eye level?
Yes. So like I say, there's been some where, like the revealing the venue, maybe if you're some bushes and stuff and a hole in the bushes, you can creep through the bushes and reveal the venue. I think the reveals going backwards are better, but because it's totally hidden, then you don't know what's coming at all. But they're probably quite hard to do. That the only things you can really reveal are things you've flown through. So it'd be a tunnel or an archway or underneath a pier or something.
One of the things I've mentored like a handful of people, and every single most of the times, my first piece of advice when it comes to drone shots is don't aim at the venue and go forwards at 40 mile an hour, because it looks like
kamikaze,
the point of view of a missile that's about to destroy it. So I think a very slow backwards movement is probably the most pleasing and probably provides like the most opportunity for reveals, from the rooftops, like appearing underneath the screen, to revealing the venue. I always find that a lot more pleasing than aiming at the venue like anyway.
I guess maybe that boils back down to slow camera movements. You think maybe
I was literally going to say that I think the drone technique kind of still needs to match the camera movement, or sort of like the techniques you'd use with your hand, right? With a handheld camera kind of thing.
I guess as well, maybe I think that the slower the movements, maybe it mimics a helicopter shot a bit more. So it looks a little bit more like it's from a helicopter maybe. Whereas if it's, like you say, Jeff, if it's flying towards the building, like a helicopter never would. Yeah. It kind of blows that illusion, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's the feeling it gives. All screen direction kind of gives a feeling, and if the screen direction is like aiming at a building very quickly, then if you saw that in a film, you'd be like, oh, "What's going to hit the building?"
Yeah, they've come to bomb. They've come to bomb the venue.
I mean, sorry to get all technical, but I go for the very basic Mini 2 or 3, whatever it is now. I can't even remember, but if you're like sort of technically into these drones, you've obviously got, the bigger ones, the more professional ones. So what kind of footage are you shooting? Is it like sort of, is it high bit rate? Are you shooting log?
So I've got an Inspire. I haven't got an Inspire 3, but I've got an Inspire 2, and it shoots 6K RAW. Which is one of those things. It's really, really, really nice, and almost you can do the sharpening. So the RAW actually doesn't look all that when it comes out because it's got no sharpening, it's got no lens corrections. And if you do the sharpening in Topaz now, it just on the screen when you're editing it, it looks like nothing you've ever seen. You're just like, this is amazing. But then when you upload it to the internet, it looks the same as a Mini 4 or whatever, So
yeah.
I guess that's why they use them. If you had it in a cinema screen or something, you might notice the difference. But I mean, the 6K, it is nice to, I think, be able to recrop and have a bit of extra resolution for if you want to stabilize the shots and play around with them.
But you know what? You say it loses it all, and yeah, I agree. It probably loses, 80% of the advantage, but a bit of that advantage leaks through because, as we said before, the judging panel had to check with you that you'd not bought it because it just had something about it that normal drone footage doesn't.
That was shot on a Mini. That was shot on a Mini 3 Pro.
You're kidding me?
Well, there you go.
All of it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that shocked me.
It does show, like, I think, because Jeff, you were talking at the beginning whether we should cut that bit out, but I think it's a compliment. Like the work is that good that we're like, I can't believe this is like a filmmaker would shoot this. This looks like it's professional work, which you are. You know?
Thank you. Yeah.
If you have to check whether someone's cheating or not, then that's a compliment.
Imagine it really is. I think because we were like, we had for context, Philip, without revealing too much, but we obviously had a judges like WhatsApp group where sometimes throughout the judging process, we'd discuss some films, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I remember saying fire emoji when I said like, oh, this film, just check out the drone shots on this. Fire emoji.
Yeah. Oh, cheers. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it would have looked better on the Inspire, but you wouldn't be able to fly through those small gaps.
Mm.
So I think the Inspire is really nice. And this is probably distinguishing yourself from other people as well. The Inspire, you can change the lenses on it. So I've got an Iowa, it's about equivalent of 9mm wide. So it's like super, super wide. And then also an Olympus, it's an Olympus 45, I think, but where it's a Micro Four Thirds sensor, it's equivalent of about 75, 80mm. So it's quite a tight shot. So
I guess with that, you can get the drone further away. So you
can be further away, but also you get like that parallax effect of long lenses. So you just get some I guess
a bit of background compression.
95% of the shots you see from drones are all on the same focal length, aren't they? And this would really stands out. I think that this doesn't look like other people's footage.
That sounds cool. Can you get even longer lenses?
It really does.
I think you can. Yeah. There's a Panasonic lens that fits on it, but I think some of the new. Is it the latest Mavic has got 3 lenses on it? So they're starting to incorporate it into the other drones. So you can change the focal length. And again, going on about him now, but Philip Bloom, when he's tested some of those drones, he's got some really nice parallax effects. He's sort of gone for the longer lens, shot these shots to show off the kind of parallax effect you get. He sort of, as he rises above the trees, the London skyline really moves like compared to the foreground.
That sounds
it's
cool.
all a slippery slope, isn't it? It's like just when you think, I've got all the equipment I need now. It's like, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
Like, stop talking before I have to buy one.
That's why I crashed mine, Jeff, because then I can just get a new one and another one. Yeah.
Well, I guess like everything, the more you get into it, it gets to the point where if you wanted to use all that stuff, you'd almost need a separate drone operator that turns into like hours and hours of work.
Yeah. Can you get anamorphic lenses for drones?
No. I don't know.
I bet you can.
Interesting.
And I bet it's really expensive.
I think the Inspire 3, a lot of film sets use them, don't they? They're so expensive, aren't they, now? I think the Inspire 3 is like 17 grand, is it, or something?
Jesus.
Okay. After our chat, I was going to just go on Amazon, but maybe not.
I mean, you can get the Inspire 2s cheap because of the
not with your track record, Joss.
That's right.
Yeah,
that would be a bad purchase.
That'd be a bad day.
Yeah.
I think because of the CAA regulations, a lot of them have changed to legacy drones. So I think unless you have the kind of, it's the CAA PDR AO1, you can't fly the Inspire 2s. So a lot of them, they've kind of turned a lot of them into paperweights. Not paperweights, but they've gone overnight from being worth $6,000 to $1,000.
Oh, it's a right.
What do you think about FPV drones as well? Have you ever used one?
I had an inquiry actually the other day, and he was like, "I really like your work, really like the style of your work. Would you be able to do like FPV around the venue?" And I was like, "It's not really my kind of style." No, and maybe I don't want to become an old man. Maybe you should just embrace getting old.
But I totally get what you mean. It's a completely different skill set and a completely different kind of art. An FPV drone is the equivalent of like a content creator, isn't it?
Well, and also, like you wouldn't run around the venue with your gimbal, would you? So it's like, it's just the camera again, isn't it, that's moving around. But maybe, and I guess maybe embracing getting old, maybe you stick with what you think's good and then you book couples that are like what you do. So there's work for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff,
I find I was going to say, I find the FPV drones a little gimmicky, certainly for weddings. Like I wouldn't use that personally. Again, this is a personal opinion. I wouldn't use it at a wedding. I just think there's a place for it. I'm not sure wedding is. Now, I'm willing to be proved wrong. Like if someone can show me otherwise, then yeah, who knows? But
yeah, I guess it depends on the style, doesn't it? You know, if someone's got that kind of like content creatory style, that's like so cool.
I suppose you're right
these days. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get proved wrong so often that
true.
I just don't have an opinion anymore.
It's tough.
Someone will come along and do something amazing. I'd be like, right, yeah, you're right.
It's tough getting older, isn't it?
It can be. It can be. All right, what do you reckon, Josh? Do you reckon it's time to circle back?
I think it's time to go back to your 2 truth and 1 lie.
Okay.
Philip. Yeah. Can you remind us of those 3, please?
So the first one was that I have a degree in physics, so it's quantum mechanics, relativity. The second one was that I ran a 16-minute 5K last week. And then the third one was that I shot the FIFA World Cup football video with Will Smith.
I'll start, Jeff, with one that I feel is a truth, which is the whole quantum mechanics. I think that's true. Based on what you talked about with your background, I feel like that can't be a lie. Also, what a weird lie to come up with on a filmmaking podcast. You know,
it fits in. You know, I don't know why, but flying small jets kind of fits in with quantum mechanics. It's like rocket science, isn't it? Kind of. So yeah, it kind of fits. I get that. But
and I
usually I have a gut feeling,
that,
but I don't have a gut feeling with this.
I choose to believe that the Will Smith idea is true. So I say you did not run a 5K under 16 minutes. That's what I'm saying.
Right, I'm going to go different to make it interesting. But, I mean, at the risk of, being insulting, I'm going to go with a Will Smith.
Okay, do you want the truth?
I know I'm wrong. So, as soon as I said it, I was like, shit, no, can I change? But no, I'll stick.
No, the lie is the Will Smith.
Yeah! I'm too lucky at this. I'm too lucky at this.
It's a funny story, but I got the idea from that in that a guy booked me to shoot his wedding. And he said, can I just have the raw footage? I can edit it myself. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. Right. And he didn't tell me anything more about him than that. And when I turned up on the day, he's like, I've got this spreadsheet of all the filmmakers he had been reviewing. And he had picked me. And he said, I didn't tell you because I just want you to do your thing. I didn't want any pressure on you. But he goes, but he was the music producer. He was the video producer for Universal. So he was on a retainer with Universal. So he does all the Universal music videos. And he did the FIFA World Cup video with Will Smith.
Wow.
Right. And you're like, I don't know what he thinks of my footage.
I'm sure he'll love it.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. So he wanted everything grey carded, and you're like, I know you know what you're doing, but it's like, this is a wedding, it's run and gun. You have to just, you're gonna think some stuff's a bit rubbish, but it's better.
You know what?
It's better than missing it.
I bet he'll have been blown away, and it'll blow his mind that you're able to do what you do under such like conditions, with like sort of not being able to prepare anything.
Yeah,
I think a lot of real filmmakers, they get so used to the fact that they've got all this control that it blows their mind when they see, you know, what you do just under that much pressure. So yeah, I reckon.
I'm still friendly with him now.
Sure,
so yeah, he didn't fall out at me.
There you go then.
No, it's cool.
No, it's been awesome to get to know you a bit more, you know.
Thanks for having us on.
I hope you come again next year, even though it's, you know, it's a billion miles away from Essex. But it'd be great to have you again. I'd love to, you know, have another chat and a drink with you.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Thanks a lot for coming on,
everything.
Philip.
Yep.
See you next year, mate.
Okay, thanks again, guys.
See you next year, mate.
Speak to you soon.